I feel like she needs that right now. So it's like the last thing you want to do is take a potato chip away from a pregnant woman. And I'm pretty sure the same thing is true when it comes to pregnant does and their grain. So I'm just gonna let her have her grain and do her thing. Hey guys, welcome to TCR. Sid here. Thanks for clicking on the video. If you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you've been watching, you know that my goat Caroline is a doeling and she is in her first run through with milk, and we've been milking her now. Well, I've been milking her now for a few months, but it's time to dry her out. So let's talk about how we're gonna do that. But first, I gotta show you my project. So you guys might wonder right now, I've got lights up. As you can see, I'll do a quick little turn around here. Excuse, there's still a little bit of mess over here from the construction. Some things I haven't moved yet. But I've got that and the laptop set up because we will be going live very shortly. Every week we go live Fridays at 4:30 Pacific time. Let's go show you my project real quick that we're working on. And then we'll get to the goat situation. Oh, girls are outside. Come on, girls. Inside. There we go. My project, we've been doing the construction in the sunroom, the mudroom, Frankie's part of the room, and Mike's office. Making walls, taking walls out, adding doors, taking doors away. We've done it all over there. And we are doing like the final touches now on the inside. We still have some siding that we need to figure out over here, which I'll show you guys really quick. And we're down to kind of finishing some of the last minute painting. We still have Frankie's other half of the room to paint. This whole section behind me here, we gotta finish the siding. Linda says so too. And we've had some storms blow through here. We've had some stuff going on. So again, pardon the debris during the construction here. Lots happening. There's a lot. There's always a lot. Everything's in constant shift, I guess. And Linda's mad now that I'm over here. But I'm gonna show you guys my project real quick. So we try to use a bunch of reclaimed objects whenever we can, as much as we can. There's a lot of things that were left here by the previous owner. There's odds and ends left from when we demoed and from other projects that we've done. So we really try to repurpose things. Number one, it saves money. And number two, why not reuse what you have? Less impact environmentally, I guess you could say. It's kind of part of being a good steward. We've used up all the trim that we could that was repurposed for like along the door frames and along the floor and the wall. And we need more. So we do have to go buy some lumber for that, which is not exciting given current lumber prices, but it has got to be done. But we want them to match. We want them to look like they've been sitting out in the sun for years, like they're weathered, to kind of have that natural wood look, right? So I did some research online and I found a couple different people talking about some different techniques. So I'm actually kind of doing a hybrid of both techniques from what I can tell. And I'll show you what I got going on here. I've got some steel wool sitting in here, and it's supposed to react here with the vinegar, and then you rub this on your fresh, like straight out of the lumberyard wood. It's supposed to help give it that kind of color aging look. Over here in this, I've got black tea and coffee mixed together that's been brewing since yesterday in the sun, both of these uncovered to let them have their magic. And this with the tannins in it and the stain between the coffee and the color, also supposed to help make the wood look aged and kind of give it that look like it's been around the block. We pulled it off of an old barn. I didn't just buy this at the lumberyard, even though we just did, because we want it to look cohesive like the rest of it. It'll look funny if it's like, it's kind of like when you get a brand new car, a new to you car, but it's previously owned. And it's got one panel on one side that's like primer gray or is pink when the rest of the car is blue. That's kind of the effect that I feel like it would give in those rooms. So I'm gonna try to match it as best I can. So that's the beginning of that project. And I think at some point this weekend, we're gonna go get the rest of that lumber so that I can actually apply those and then let them dry. And then I'm supposed to give them kind of a light sanding, and that's supposed to really seal the deal and make it look antiqued, worn, used, all that stuff. So back to the goat. I am fairly certain that she is pregnant now again, which is fine. She can be pregnant while you milk them, but you do want to stop a few months before they're due to kid again. And I don't want to, because she lost her first two kids, I do not want to stress her out, put her body through any undue stress. So I'm stopping milking earlier than I technically have to, just to make sure. Now there's a couple different techniques that you can use to dry up your dough. I'm kind of going to go with a more, I guess, natural method. A lot of people just say, oh, go cold turkey, cut their grain first. Some don't even say that. Some just say stop milking. That's it. And I'm sure that, I mean, yeah, it works. But I can say, as, you know, a woman who nursed a child, that going cold turkey sucked. Because Frankie decided she was done, and that was not pleasant. So I can only imagine what it would be like for her, because she can't even like do anything about it. She's just gonna be uncomfortable. And I just feel like at that point she might be at a higher risk for, you know, mastitis or something like that happening. And I want to avoid those kinds of things with her. So my game plan is, now that I've been milking her forever, I saved some of the milk and went ahead and froze it so that I have some for cooking and doing some things like that on hand. So I bottled it and froze it. I've still got another batch. I've got some cheese still, and I'm kind of weaning her off of milking. So I was doing twice a day. I want to make this transition as easy for her as possible. Last week I knocked her down to milking her only once a day. So now I'm only milking her in the mornings, and she's still kind of like confused about it. Like, she keeps coming to the gate like, where are you gonna take me? Like, we're supposed to milk now. Like, it's evening time, you're supposed to milk me. So she's still a little perturbed about that. I feel like she's not totally on board with the not milking twice a day thing, because she actually got to the point where she's kind of really enjoys it. I think she knows she gets her extra treat, she gets some alone time with me, she likes it. Down to once a day now. Now the game plan will be do that for a couple of weeks. So I'll do that all through next week as well, where I just milk her once a day. After that, I'm going to start switching it to every other day, and then kind of just let her naturally dry up. I'm also not like fully, like, I'm leaving just a little bit of milk in the bag. I'm not completely emptying her to the point where I can't get anything out like I would normally, to really encourage, the way a kid would, to really encourage that milk production, because I do want to slow her down. So I'm kind of acting like a kid in the sense that, you know, now I'm eating more greens and I'm eating more hay and I'm eating, you know, I'm foraging and I'm eating leaves and I'm doing this. So I'm not drinking as much of mom's milk. So I'm just gonna leave a little in there, a little dry up. So that's the game plan that I'm going with, and I feel like it's gonna be successful. You know, I want this to be an easy transition for her and for me. And I think that taking these couple of weeks to do it, we are scheduled to be out of town. And honestly, it doesn't matter if they're scheduled to be out of town. I'm the one that does the milking. I need to make sure that she is completely dried up before I go, because the last thing I want is for something to happen and for her to develop mastitis or her to have some kind of issue while I'm not here to take care of it, and the person that's watching the animal may not know what to look for or do or whatever. Really don't want to have to come home to a sick, injured, or gosh, for, you know, I would hate to think, you know, possibly worse when I get back. So that's my game plan. I'm gonna do the 2 weeks of switching to once a day milking. Then I'm gonna switch to every other day for a little while and just kind of feel her out and see how that goes. Now, a lot of places will say go ahead and cut their grain supplement down. And if I wasn't so sure that she was pregnant, I would be cutting it down. I'd try that. But I can tell, I would bet money that she's pregnant right now. I really would. I feel like she needs that right now. So it's like the last thing you want to do is take a potato chip away from a pregnant woman. And I'm pretty sure the same thing is true when it comes to pregnant does and their grain. So I'm just gonna let her have her grain and do her thing. If I run into any problems, then I might have to try, like, you know, cutting back on that and adjusting until she's completely dried up. But I think that we'll be okay with just the weaning her the way I plan to wean her. So my peacocks are calling, and my little patio peacock just perked right up when he heard them. Oh, did you hear them? Did you hear the biggins? Did you hear them? I know. Did you go upstairs? You went to the upstairs of the condo? Everybody needs a patio peacock. So I just moved my little chick out here. Eventually I'm just gonna let, you know, when it gets a little bit bigger and less, you know, predator bait, then I'll let them out. But for right now, they get to stay penned up. So that's my game plan for Caroline. I'm really hoping that I'm going to be a goat grandma soon. in the next couple of months here, probably in about, by my calculations, it's about 3.5 months away, I think. 3 months-ish. For those of you who don't know, goats gestate for 150 days, 5 months. I'm guessing that's about where she's at right now, is that she's about 3 months away from dropping those kids like it's hot. So I want to give her ample time to, you know, let her body focus on making those babies and get that all squared away. So I'll update you guys on how that's going, and I'm going to update you guys on my tea that I made over here with my vinegar and my steel wool and all of that that's supposed to age my wood to finish out that project. But now it's time for me to go live in there with you guys. But right now I'm not live, I'm previously recorded. But that's okay, because sometimes you have to previously record it. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell so you get the notifications.